Hi, in this lecture we will talk about data interpretation. Whether or not you are into the field of data science, you must already be knowing that data interpretation is an extremely important and an indispensable task in our everyday lives. Data comes to us in many different forms. It could be in the form of our past experiences, which get stored in our memory, or it could be that you are sourcing bits of data from different databases or from Google, the secondary space, or you are collecting data from focus group discussions after interviewing people, or you might have sent sample questionnaires which people have filled out and you are collecting data in those forms. Data carries a lot of power, and the power from data is possible if you know the right techniques to harness the information that the data contains. And this technique is very important whether or not you are a data science professional in any field. Data interpretation, or also sometimes it's also known as data mining, which means that you are trying to find patterns from data and discover knowledge from data. We have covered this topic in more details in one of our earlier sessions, which majorly deals with what data mining is and what are the different tools and techniques one can use for mining data. Now in this session, what we plan to cover are some useful mathematical concepts which are very handy while you interpret data. This not only helps you come up with insights from the data in different ways, but also helps you understand how you can use certain techniques in certain situations, take more informed decisions. It's however a good idea to deep digger into the mathematics and statistics behind some of these concepts. We would keep discussing about such concepts in easy to follow and detailed manners, so it's better to stay tuned. Let's start. One of the core ideas in data science, or data interpretation rather, is that of error metrics. Now, error metrics is very important when it comes to the concept of statistics. One of the primary differences between mathematical models and statistical models is that mathematical models talk about exactness of relationships, which means that under any circumstances, if you are describing a relationship in a mathematical form, that holds good. On the other hand, statistics talks about things in a collective manner, and it often introduces this new concept of uncertainty. This uncertainty is a factor which does not let the predicted outcomes or the modeled outcomes to be exactly equal to the actual. And the difference between the actual and what your model or what your inference predicts is often called as error. Now the error term comes in various forms. It could be an error in measurement. It could be error in terms of if you're looking at a statistical model and you have built one model which predicts a value of 100 for a variable x, whereas the actual value of x is 150. Then this difference between the actual and what you have predicted is also a form of error. And the whole idea in statistics is to minimize such errors, because these are also represented in the form of cost functions or loss functions, which we will be talking about in more details in the relevant topics when we discuss them. In error metrics, we have three different kinds. First one is called absolute error, relative error, and percentage error. Now, absolute error is the difference between the observed value, which we represent by O, and the actual value, which is A. Relative error, on the other hand, is the absolute error divided by the actual value. And percentage error is the relative error multiplied by 100. If suppose there are two variables x1 and x2 which are random in nature, and these variables are measured with absolute errors E1 and E2 respectively, then the maximum absolute error for two variables is E1 plus E2. Similarly, if x1 into x2 or x1 divided by x2 or vice versa is measured with relative errors E1 and E2, then the maximum relative error becomes E1 by x1 plus E2 by x2. Now let us understand this with the help of a small example. Now let us try to understand this with one small example. Suppose that you have a rectangle which is, and you have two sides which measure in length as 100 plus minus, and on this side you have 80 plus minus 2 feet. Now if we ask what is the error in the sum of the two sides and what is the limits of the true value of the sum of the two sides, then this is how we can get the following. Let E1 be the absolute error for 100 plus minus 2 feet. So the error here is. Similarly, E2 be the absolute error for the second side. Here also the absolute error is. So what this means is, if we look at the total error of the sum of the two sides, that is given by E1 plus E2, which is equal to 4 feet. Now, if we think about what are the limits of the true value of the sum of two sides, then this is what we get. It should be 100 plus 80, this would be, yes, 100 plus 80 minus 4 feet, comma, this would be 100 plus 80 plus 4 feet. This is E1 plus E. You are subtracting this on the left hand side and you are adding it up on the right hand side. So what you get is 176 and 184. Now this is your lower bound and this becomes your upper bound. This concept of lower bound and upper bound is extremely critical, and when we discuss about statistical inference, we would come across the term called confidence level and confidence intervals. You would directly understand when we discuss that topic that the concepts that we covered here is pretty much similar when we talk about confidence interval.
Watch out next part of